So today we continue with our class Shabbos Home, where we discuss 39 Melachas, and we start with Orchos Tzaddikim, and we're in the very, very beginning of the first gate, which is what? Which is gate of Haughtiness. All right, so let's start. And it says, Haughtiness is the coin which the great Haughtiness is the coin which the great blessed king has invalidated, and which has warned us about in his Torah, as it is written, "Take heed lest you forget Hashem your God." Dvarim 8:11. For the haughty man forgets his creator, as it is written, and when your cattle and flock multiply, and gold and silver increase to you, then it's like a continuation, like they skip part. Then your heart will grow haughty, and you will forget Hashem your God, and you will say to yourself, "My power and my might, and the might of my hand, have made this well for me." Then you should remember Hashem your God. For it is He who gives you the strength to amass the wealth. Okay. And in relation to a king, it is written that his heart not to be lifted above the brothers. It's also from Dvarim 17:20. And if the Torah cautions even the king in this respect, it goes without saying that average man should not show upmanship one to another. Okay, so let's do up to here, and there is a commentary, and we try to explain. Okay, so we up to the gate of Haughtiness. So start from the beginning. Haughtiness is a coin which the great blessed king has invalidated, and has warned us about in his Torah, as it is written. So what is it like? Why the author starts from this? It's very interesting. So in olden days, the king would come, right? And he said, this coin, it's from who? This from the previous king that I killed. It's no good coin. So if anybody is trying to use this coin, it means that he's going to go into prison and would have to deal with the king himself. So meaning when king said this coin is no longer in circulation, that's it. I think you can exchange it to other coins or something. I mean, you can do something, but with the king's treasury, but you cannot trade it. You cannot buy yourself with the coin. I mean, buy, right? Okay. So here is that's what author is saying, right? So meaning haughtiness is Hashem said it's not good, right? And it says that why? Because the haughty man, the arrogant man, forgets Creator, and it says as Moshe Rabbeinu was warning us when we were about to cross the Jordan River, and he said when Hashem is going to give you prosperity, right, and you will be fat and you will be satiated, right? You have a lot of material blessings, and you would say, "My power did it." Yeah, of course, I worked so much. Of course, oh yes, Hashem helped, but between you and I did it. You understand? So that's the danger, and that's how people get to deny Hashem, and they give themselves all of the credits, meaning that it's idol worshiper 100%. Okay, right, and they say and they go into, and they should remember that Hashem is the one who gives them the strength and the wealth. 1 second, I wanted to say something. 1 second. Okay. Never mind, I don't remember. Okay, so, and commentary say, a person who is haughty transgresses the prohibition of this pasuk and consider the idol worshipper, since it is as he denied the existence of Hashem. Right? It's from Sota 4b. So it's very interesting point. Very important point. So a person who denies the existence of Hashem, so he's considered to be idol worshiper. So meaning, of course, he would need to acknowledge that his wealth, his lack came from somewhere, right? So we would say it's maybe from idol, some idol, maybe from me. So yeah, a person can be serving themselves. Okay, so one point. Now I remember what I want to say. So some people say, yeah, you see, it's like a prophecy, right? Hashem said that you're going to forget me, that you're going to rebel against me. So it's like prophecy. We didn't have any choice, right? Because he already said that's what was going to happen. And of course, the answer to that question, right, it's very, very simple. Hashem said, yeah, it's going to happen, but it does not mean that it should happen to you. Does not mean that it has to happen in our generation. So, right, we have a freedom of choice. So if we, is it going to happen? Yes. Inevitably, it's going to happen. In what generation? I don't know, maybe 100 years from now, maybe 1,000 years from now, right? So that's very important thing to know. So yeah, is it a prophecy? Yes. Okay. So continue. The reason for this is because, and I think if I remember in the time of Yecheskel, people are trying to use this argument, right? It's not they've been using it in all generations. Okay. The reason for this is because man was created to recognize the greatness of Hashem and to serve him as a servant serves his master. Right, so let's stop here, and that's what we actually discussed yesterday a little when we were answering the question. So the purpose of man's creation in this world is to serve Hashem, right, and declare about His greatness. Right? How? By serving Him, by doing against our desires. Right? Meaning what? Hashem said not to do it, and I'm not going to do it. Why? Because I don't want it? No, I want it very much. Like I don't know, some non-kosher food. Does it smell good? Sometimes you pass this non-kosher restaurant. Does it smell good? Smells very good, right? But I'm not going to go there because it's not delicious. No, many people they stay in line. Yeah, it looks like it's very delicious, right? But I'm not going to do it because Hashem said so. So when you say clearly because I'm doing this or not doing this because Hashem said so, so that's how we glorify Hashem. It's very, very simple. A haughty person harbors feelings that show that he is not subservient to anyone, even to Hashem. Right? So meaning, I'm going to decide. Right? There's somebody left us a comment. I don't know, like a few days ago, and this lady said, I don't remember what was said in that clip. But I think I said something in between the lines so a person who goes against Chachamim, so he is going against God, right? Against God. Like he's not basically not a smart person. I don't remember exactly how he said it, right? But this lady said, so if a Jew has a head and their opinion, so they're wicked, right? So wicked, we say maybe, right? Well, exactly, because when we say we're going by opinion of Chachamim, and these people would tell us the opinion of God, the opinion of the Torah. So when you go against their opinion, you're not going against them. They just repeat what the Torah says. So you're going against the Torah, against your Creator, right? So you're not a smart person, to say the least. Okay. So continue. So right. So these people, right? The arrogant person, right, harbors the feelings that show that he is subservient to anyone, not subservient to anyone, even Hashem. Ramban says that since we are nation of the capable and talented people, it is a natural that we that we attitude success to our own efforts and actions. We need to be careful, therefore, not to fall into the trap. That's amazing, Ramban. Okay, so one more time. Ramban said that since we are a nation of capable and talented people, Jews are known to be very talented in every area, right? Much more talented than other people. That's right. That's known. It is natural that we attribute success to our own efforts. Right? So why? Because I work on myself. I spend so much time investing in this and that field. Yes, so that's why it is more dangerous for specifically for Jews, because they're talented. Right? To attribute success to their own efforts, we need to be careful, therefore, not to fall into that trap. Okay. So we stop here. And to be continued. So we're going to do one paragraph, right? When in the time, it should be good. All right, so continue. So one second. Okay, so we continue with our topic on chapter number 8. And the topic garments that may be worn on Shabbos. Maybe worn on Shabbos. Okay. So next section. So let me see what the big topic is. Okay. So we're on section 5, and our topic is items appended to garments. Items appended to garments. Just 1 second. Okay, so next one. Articles subordinate to a garment. Certain articles that do not meet the aforementioned criteria and are not considered intrinsic part of the garment, right? Where you say like zipper or something, or buttons, right? Garment, and may nevertheless be considered subordinate to the garment, thus allowing one to wear the garment outdoors. An article can be considered subordinate to a garment if, number one, it serves the garment, and number two, it is negligible value. Let us elaborate the criteria. So before this section, we're talking about the garments themselves. What is considered to be garment? And we said, one of the examples that we said, even a minority of the people would consider garment and wear it. So it could be considered the garment for other people, majority, right? And now we say that something is attached to the garment, right? Is it subordinate, meaning it's nullified by the garment itself? And since you're wearing this garment, it's like this thing is not counted or not? Okay. So let's see. So two things: service of the garment, like the best example that we discussed last time, I guess, would be a button or a zipper, right? And number two is negligible value, right? It's like if you lose it, you're not going to get upset or something. Okay. So number one, article that serves a garment. Any article that performs a function that enhances the effectiveness or appearance of the garment is accorded the same status as the garment itself, and one may wear it in a public domain. Example follow: the belt to hold up one's pants. Okay, so before we continue, let's do again this introduction. Any article that performs a function that enhances the effectiveness or appearance of the garment. Right, effectiveness of the appearance of the garment. So meaning it is not maybe like belt. The first example, like you would not wear this belt by itself, right, without other garments. So it is not a garment, right? The belt is not a garment, but it's something to help with the garment. Okay. Right, so appearance and in accordance with the same status as the garment itself, since it helps. And why may wear the public domain? Some examples follow. Okay. Now one, belt to uphold the upper one's pants. Right, and he said later on we're going to see unfastened belts. So what is the unfastened belts? It could be in a men's and a women's also, like a raincoat, and some people tie the belt in the back. So that could be problematic. Either women have a dress and they tie the belt in the back. Also could be problematic. Okay. So, but belt, normal belt, the way we understand, there is no problem. That's help us to wear the pants. Okay. Second one is suspenders, also to hold the pants up. Pin to secure yarmulke, right? So, right, some people like they have a small yarmulke, so they would put pins, like some like 2 or 3 or 17 pins, whatever they need. Okay, so let's see. D, short collar stiffers, right? In short, like on the back, they put like the stiffers into this color. So I mean, is it garment? It's not a garment, but the color looks more presentable. I don't remember. Like I'm not sure what they what they would put like before that, before they invented the stiffeners. I'm not sure. Right. All right. So E, next one, safety pin to hold together garments. So safety pins, right? So we discussed it before. I'm not sure, like few weeks ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, maybe even more, about this safety pin. So now, so there we were talking about if it's allowed to insert the safety pin on Shabbos because of what milach of sewing. So in sewing, we said when it goes like a thread, like a classic example of sewing, you go needle and thread like down through the fabrics and then go up. So that's sewing. So in some sense, this safety pin is a sewing, right? It's you did whatever you did, and you closed it. So now it's not going to get undone. So, but now in this case, we're not talking about this, and we're talking about if somebody put the safety pin before Shabbos, so there is no problem. So meaning the safety pin holds the things together. Okay. Next one is the shoulder pads. I mean, usually women would have in their jacket, they have like a shoulder pads. Okay, no problem. So is it a garment? No, it's not a garment, but it enhances appearance of the garments. Okay. I'm not sure. I think men do not wear them. I think. Okay. So and next one is a tie clip. And tie clip, they say, see the page 129. So we're going to discuss. It's not so simple. And what is not so simple? Like this tie clip must be like practical, meaning that to keep the tie in place. So meaning if the tie is in place, for example, if I wear the vest, so if I put the tie like under the vest, it's not going to go anywhere. So the problem is when like not a problem. In the situation where you need a tie clip, the way I understand, if somebody does not wear a jacket at all, right? So just short, that in this case, yeah, you would need a tie clip, or he wears a jacket but he unbuttons it, so it's like open. So if it's completely open, yeah, the tie would go from left to right, right? But in this case, you might need the tie clip. But if right, if you have a vest, for example, or you have a sweater, some put like when it's cold, some people put a sweater on top of the shirt, and you see the tie under the sweater, but it's not like this tie clip is useless, right? So it's not going to serve this purpose, right? We said to condition to serve this garment, and this thing not, and negligible value. I'm not sure if tie clip is such a negligible value. I mean, it costs some money. Okay. Okay, so number 2, right? Article of negligible value. Okay. If an item that has a little or no value is attached to the article of clothing, it may be considered subordinate to the garment, even if it does not perform any function. Some examples follow. Okay, meaning, what it would be, I don't know, like for example, somebody's button fell off, and you have these threads sticking out. Right, so that's there for sure negligible value. Okay, so let's see the example. A spare button sewn inside of the garment. Right. I mean, usually, today they do such a good job with the garments. I mean, with the shorts, for example, you can wear the shorts for many years. Like, I mean, if you buy like more or less good quality, right? So you never use these extra buttons. So the problem is not to be with the buttons, that the button is still there attached, but the short will wear out. I mean, after some time, right? So, but so this like extra buttons, most of the people would never use them. Okay. Okay, so that's not a problem. So meaning that you can walk with them attached. So I remember just some time ago what happened. I had to wear a new jacket somehow. I don't know whatever happened. I had to wear a new jacket, and I think it was holiday, 2 days holiday in Shabbos. And then I put my hand into the pocket, and I almost had a heart attack. I found these extra buttons like in a small bag. You understand? So I mean, maybe on Yom Tov it's not that bad, but on Shabbos for sure. I mean, of course, it was not my intention on one hand, but on the other hand, it says very clearly. Also, you say you must check your pockets. So since I never put anything in my pocket, so like I don't check, right? But there was a new jacket, and there were the spare buttons in the pocket. But Hashem has saved me, and I checked right, just checked. Okay. So next one are cleaning tags, cleaners tags. This should be preferably removed from the garment before Shabbos. So, but on Shabbos we're not allowed to remove the cleaners tags. Why? Because they do. We discussed this in the malach of sewing. They do it with a stapler, and stapler for sure it's sewing for sure. So you're not allowed to staple on Shabbos, and you're not to undo the staples. So, I mean, you just wear it as it is. Usually, I mean, some happened to me a few times. Just forgot. First of all, they stapled in a place where it's not visible. And it's not a problem. Okay. So also, like, it's negligible value. Okay. So next one, identification tags. Okay. Identification tags. Maybe like the name. The way I understand is the name of a person. Right, some people put their name inside of their hat. In the hat, they could put like their name. Okay. Shortness labels. Okay. It is attached. It's not a part of the garment. It's not needed by the garment, but it's negligible value. And next one, F, price tags. This should be verbally removed from the garment before Shabbos. So technically, you're allowed to remove the price tags. So if it's like connected with this plastic thing, so you can cut it. I mean, of course, preferably to do it before Shabbat. But if person forgets, sometimes when you're not sure, you're not allowed. You can walk with them. Right, for example, you have on a jacket on the back, so you just put it inside, and that's it. Nothing is going to happen. It's not going to bother you. I mean, it's a small tag. You can walk like that. Okay. Okay, and the last one Of course. I mean, of course, this price tag is preferably to remove before Shabbos. That's understandable. And the last one is a thread left in a garment from the button that fell off. Right. So, for example, he noticed that the button is fallen off, so he tore it snapped it, but the threads are still there. Okay, so you can leave them because of negligible value. Okay, so next one is very interesting. Like if somebody never learned this, it's like would be very shocked, right? There is a question regarding the status of torn belt loop and a coat loop. There is a loop with which the coat is being hung from the hooks. While functional, the loops are considered part of the garment to which they are attached, since they serve the garment. Okay, so what are we talking about? So we have a loop, for example, on a jacket, on a coats or something. You have a loop to put on this jacket or coat on a hook. So of course it's practical, right? It's part of the garment, it's practical. But what if it is torn, right? So if it is torn, so it's not functional, so it's like sticking out, or the belt, right? On the belt sometimes, these loops also tear. I mean, it happened to me maybe once in my life, but maybe twice. I don't know, but so for some people it's because I don't know why. Because I don't know why. Doesn't matter. So yeah, so they tear, right? So what to do? Because for sure it's like in some sense it's not. It's not functional. For sure, it's not functional. Maybe person is considering like carrying them. Okay. So again, while function, the loops are considered part of the garment. So loops meaning like to hang and to hold the belt, a part of the garment, to which they attach since they service the garment. However, if the loop tears, right, it's no longer functional, part of the garment, and it is under the unclear whether one may wear the garment outdoors with a remnant of loop attached. So meaning, right? It's not so simple. It's not so simple. So we always say if you have this situation, don't wear, like if you have another coat, don't wear this one, or you have another jacket, don't wear this one. Most poskim hold the loop is considered not valuable item and is subordinate to the garment, even if one plans to repair after Shabbos, and it's very, very important concept. So if you say it's not valuable and you do not care, it's one thing. But if person is thinking to repair something after Shabbos, right, it means that he's bothered by that. So it's not right. Whatever is the situation, he's not satisfied with the situation. He wants to fix it. That means that it is valuable for him. So I mean, I'm just trying to explain the position of other poskim. So again, the most of poskim hold that loop is considered not valuable item and subordinate to the garment. Okay, so we said that. Even if they plan to repair the loop, the intention to repair it lends importance to its remnant and cannot be considered subordinate to the garment. Right. So that's the second opinion. I mean, it's still for first opinion. They say even persons does not say that is a negligible. It's not important. So it is important. So if it would be not important, so you lost something. I don't know, like cleaner stack, dry cleaners like fall off. Are you going to pick it up? Are you going to search for it? No, because you do not care. But about this loop, you do care. You want to fix it. However, even according to this paskim, if one does not intend to repair the loop, it does not retain importance and thus become subordinate to the garment. right? So meaning don't have a like special intention to repair the loop. So technically, if it's a loop in a jacket, you use a hanger, right? To hang it to hang the jacket. So do you need the loop? Maybe like in like certain circumstances, but most of the time no. So if you don't have this like specific intention to fix it, so it's actually better. So you would be able to go outside. Okay. If possible, one should follow the stringent view and not wear the garment on Shabbos unless he makes up in his mind that he will not repair the loop. I mean, is it possible to think about it when you see the loop snapped? I'm not going to repair it. I'm not sure. So it's like don't wear the garment, or if you need to wear the garment, have the intention that you're not going to repair it. However, in the event that it's not possible, one may rely on the view of the majority poskim, who rule that in all instances the torn loop is subordinate to the garment. Okay, so as we said, it's proper to go according to the stringent opinion, and it's not that hard to go by that opinion, but after the fact you can rely on majority and say no problem, this torn loop is a negligible value. Okay, so next one, the items of value. If valuable item, for example, decorative buckle becomes unfit to serve as a garment to which it is attached, one may definitely not wear the garment outdoors. If he intends to repair the item, for the valuable article cannot be considered subordinate to the garment. Thus, if decorative shoe buckle or a belt buckle breaks, and one intends to repair it, one may not wear the shoe or belt outdoors. However, if one makes up in his mind that he will not repair it after Shabbos, it is considered subordinate garment, and one may wear the garment outdoors. So let's go back and try to understand what it says here. Again, so items of value. Before that, we said the loop of no. Everybody agreed that it's low, low value, right? But it's very practical. So meaning, if person intends to repair, meaning it is important for him. Okay, so here is the same thing, but now it's for sure it's valuable. So some people have these belt buckles that cost a lot of money, right, or shoe buckles. I mean, I'm not sure. Do the people today have shoe buckles? I'm not sure. Maybe women do. I don't know. Maybe men. I don't know. I don't look at anybody's shoes, but okay, maybe. I mean, shoes, buckles. I mean, you would notice if men would walk like in the buckles. But in olden days, I mean, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago, yeah, the people would go with buckles. So meaning if it's broken, right, broken and it's fancy schmancy, and now a person wants to repair it. So of course it is a problem, right? So with the belt, I'm not sure like how can he wear the belt. I mean, maybe the way I see it, maybe the pants don't fall off as it is, so pretty tight. But this belt was for decoration, right? For adornment, and this buckle is fancy schmancy. So if a person wants to go with these shoes or with this buckle, so keep in mind that that you do not want to repair. If you want to repair, that's it. You cannot walk because it is important. However, one makes up his mind he will not repair after Shabbos, it's considered subordinate. Okay, so I mean, but it has to be like a very sincere. say, I'm not going to repair after Shabbos. So when maybe, of course, on Sunday you can change your mind, or Monday, but it has to be this intention should be sincere. Okay, so we got up to next section, number 6. I'm not sure, the previous was 8. How this can be 6? I'm not sure. I mean, but that's what these numbers mean. Okay, that's my next section, practical applications. It's chapter 6. Chapter 8 and section 6. I apologize. Sorry. So practical applications. Most of the laws recorded in this section were not discussed above. Not discussed above. Some were mentioned earlier in the text, but nevertheless are repeated here for the sake of combining all of the practical applications. So all of them together. So belts. Right. So number 1, unfastened belts. Many garments such as dresses and coats that are worn with belts. If belts is sewn on the garment or attached on the garment with buttons, one is permitted to wear outdoors if the belt is left untied. Right. So, and that's what it is. For example, a man who has a raincoat and have a belt. So some belts are not attached. So that you have a loops, like two loops, let's say. So you cannot basically walk with the belt just hanging there. That's the problem, right? So what you do, you can sew to the raincoat, or sometimes they have buttons, right? So these buttons, like inside of this belt, have another piece of material with a button, and it's and it's going to be attached to one of the loops. Okay, so meaning at least in one place, so that's secure enough. It's not going to fall off, basically. So that's the idea. So it is attached, so no problem. So meaning what? When we say no problem, that you can walk unbuttoned with the unbuttoned coat, right, with the belt hanging, but otherwise would not be allowed. And same with dresses, with women's dresses. So it must be attached or tied, one of the two. So again, many garments such as dresses and coats are worn with the belts. If the belt is sewn into the garment, right, or attached to the garment with buttons, as we explained, one is permitted to wear outdoors even if the belt is untied. So again, the only issue when belt is untied. If you always tie the belt, there is no problem whatsoever. However, if belt is not sewn but is merely inserted in loops, some poskim rule that one should not wear unless the belt is tied. Right. So some poskim and some men they would not use the belt with a raincoat, but they would tie in the back. So it's absolutely useless. So unless it is sewn to the coat itself, it's according to this poskim would be forbidden to go outside with a belt like that. Okay, so it's very practical. Same with women's coat. Okay, so number 2, wearing belt and suspenders together. Right, that's usually people wear one, suspenders or belt, but some people wear 2. Although it is forbidden to wear one belt on top of the other. So we said because the second belt does not serve any purpose. 2 other garments, there is no problem. So a person can wear 2 t-shirts, for example, 2 pair of socks because of cold, 2 pairs of gloves because it's cold. There is no problem, right? But two belts, right? That would be a problem. Okay. So again, although it is forbidden to wear one belt on top of the other, stated above, it nevertheless permitted, according to some poskim, for the person who generally wears belt, with suspenders, to wear both of them on Shabbos. So meaning the way I understand what it says here, it's like a normal way of wearing things by this man. So if somebody is a little on the heavy side, so right, so many people would use suspenders. Elderly people would use suspenders. Okay, suspenders and a belt, because some suspenders just pull the pants up, but the belt sort of different purpose. It's holds it on the person's waist. I mean, two separate things, two separate functions. Okay, so that's why some poskim said there is no contradiction. But as they say, he should wear the same during the week. The reason is that the wearer benefits from both items, right? Since the suspender holds the trouser up securely, and belt enhances the appearance and fit. Oh, right. So belt is to enhance appearance. Okay, appearance and fit. Okay. So number 3, wearing gartel. So let me quickly check. I'm not sure. Okay. Wearing gartel. Many people have a custom wear gartel. So gartel, what's gartel? It's a belt for praying. Hasidim usually wear it, right? So it's like from a thin one, from a thicker one, Shabbos one, this one, that one. Okay. Many people have a custom wear gartel. There's a special belt worn over one clothing during the davening. It is permitted to wear it outdoors if it is tied on top of the one's jacket. Right. So meaning the belt must serve some purpose, right? So even though you need this belt, this girdle for a prayer. So if it's on top of you have a jacket, right, and you have this belt on top of the jacket, so it holds in some sense it holds the jackets together. But you cannot tie this girdle under your jacket on top of your on your waist, because it's useless, right? There is no need for it. It would be a problem. However, it is forbidden to wear it outdoors if it tied underneath the jacket, since it serves no function. I mean, you have one belt. So if you use this girdle instead of the pants belt, yes, right. That's not a problem. Okay, but on top of the regular pants belt, it's useless. Okay, so continue. Next one, be buttons. Right, so it's the whole story about buttons. So number 1, unused buttons. It is permitted to go outdoors with the unbuttoned garment, right? So you don't want to button the last one. So meaning is it so the top buttons in some sense is useless, right? So why do you need it? Unbuttoned garment, since the button is intrinsic part of the garment, as explained before, right? So meaning it's intrinsic part, and that's how they make it, and that's it. So that's not a problem. This includes buttons that are sewn inside the garment for the purpose of attaching linings. Right. So meaning this thing. I mean, today the way they do the linings here, like inside they would have zipper, but inside of the sleeve they would have button. So you would put this sleeve from the lining inside of the coat, and then you connect this loop to the button, right? So meaning in some sense this if you wear it, for example, in the spring without lining, so that button is useless. Okay. Of course, it's right. Okay, it's part of the garment. Okay, so again, this includes the buttons that are sewn inside the garment for the purpose attaching linings. The same holds true for zippers. right? So zipper, if you unzip the lining, the part of the zipper is there. Okay. It is also according to many poskim to wear the garment that spares button sewn inside it, right? So in the dress shorts usually there is like a button or two inside it, no problem. So next one, broken button, right? Sometimes it happens. Of course, like to break buttons, where we can break button in the washer, right? In the washer or dryer, it can get stuck some and can be broken. So now it's useless. You cannot use it. A button on a garment that is broken half. The garment may never be worn outdoors. Again, because it's an intrinsic part of the garment and it's a negligible value. So you prefer it not to be there, basically. So, and now it's a bigger issue than the previous two, which is what? Number 3, loose buttons. If garment has a loose button, but the button is still functional to some degree, right? It can still be used to fasten the garment, or if it is tight enough to make the garment look complete. So I mean, even if you untie, right? I mean, if it's not fastened, one may wear the garment outdoors on Shabbos. So meaning if it's basically it is loose, but you're not afraid that since you're not using it in some sense, so you're not afraid that it's going to fall off. Furthermore, even if the button is not functional at all, but one does not need it, for example, has other spare buttons, one may wear the garment outdoors. However, if the button is not functional, right, and one needs to save it in order to retighten it, one may not wear the garment outdoors. So meaning what? So if a person uses all of his spare buttons, meaning if this button is going to fall, he's going to for sure pick it up and put it in his pocket and continue walking, which is a problem, right? Violation of this milacha. Not this milacha of carry, but this milacha meaning that he was wearing this button, which is separate entity, right? And it has value. Why? How do we know it has value? Because he picked it up, right? If it would be some of negligible value, he would not, like a piece of thread would fall off. He's not going to, would never pick up. Okay. So again, the whole sentence. However, if the button is not functional, right, meaning it's so loose it's not functional, one need that, and one need to save it in order to retighten it, right? One may not wear the garment outdoors, although it is ordinarily presumed to wear the garment, permitted to wear the garment that has spare buttons attached. In this case, it is not. So, right, why? For since the button is loose, and we are concerned that it might fall off, and the wearer might then inadvertently carry it in public domain, in order to save it for refastening. So, and even if persons say, no, I would not, even falls off, I don't care because I have a spare button. So, but still, it is a problem. It is a problem. Why? Because in some sense, he carried from the private domain into the public domain. Okay, 1 second, checking time. Okay, so let's do one more section. Okay. And the next section is subsection C, right? And our topic is untied shoelaces, right? So some people work with untied shoelaces. It is permitted to go outdoors with one shoe's laces untied. The laces are considered intrinsic part of the shoe, and may thus be worn with the shoes even if they are not being used. So, I mean, I saw people doing like that. I'm not sure. I think they put shoelaces like inside of the shoe and then put the foot. Right. So, otherwise, like most likely, these shoes are going to fall off. No problem. But again, if it's untied, no problem. So they can walk. No problem. So next one, number 2, is boots and galoshes. So galoshes are also called rubbers. So they mean that you put the whole your shoe inside that. Okay. Okay. So and it says it is permitted to wear rubber boots or galoshes over the one's shoes on Shabbos. Right. Since the rubbers, I'm not sure. Rubbers. I think, what is the difference between the rubbers and galoshes? I think the rubbers would put the whole, it's soft shoes, like you can put your shoes completely into rubber, if I understand correct. By galoshes, it's like they more like, I don't know, like how to say, like shallow, right? It's like you only your shoes and then no more than that. That's the difference. So meaning rubbers could be deeper, like go up to your ankle, and galoshes only up to your shoes. That's the way I understand. Okay. So again, it is permitted to wear rubber boots or galoshes over the one's shoes on Shabbos, since the rubbers provide the feet with added warmth and protect them from the moisture which penetrate the shoes. They're considered garments. So it's very, very straightforward, simple explanation, right? So shoes would get wet, right? Would get wet, and not only shoes, but inside the feet would get wet. That's why you can put these rubbers, these galoshes, this on top of your shoes. Why? To make it warmer for a foot, and plus to protect from moisture, from water. There is no problem. So according to all of the opinions, there is no problem. Right. Thus, one is permitted to wear them even in a light rain, where his sole intention is to protect the shoes from damage due to the moisture. Okay, so it's very interesting. So even in a light rain, usually if any shoes can withstand the light rain, right? But for the warmth, right, he can still wear these galoshes. Okay, shoes damage from the moisture, right? Continue. One is also permitted to wear them in a dry weather for the purpose of transporting them to a different location. So same as we were talking about winter jackets. As we said, since it is garment, it's always a garment. Meaning even if it's like 40, what is it? Right, 140. No, it's too much. 100 degrees outside. It's very hot. So, but you want to return to your friend his winter coat. You just remember. So you can wear since it is garment, you can wear it in under any conditions. Same as these galoshes, these rubbers, this rubber boots, right? All of these things. So since it is a garment, you can wear that even to transport it, right? Continue. Children boots. And it is a problem, and sometimes, when we have a lot of snow, I would do the same. It's, I mean, not on Shabbos. On Shabbos, we remember not to do it. Mothers often put a plastic bag over the children's feet, right? The best way. Feet or shoes to enable them. To enable them to don the boots more easily. Okay, so I mean it's not only that, but even to protect the feet, since from getting wet. Since the plastic bags are not considered garments, and thus it is forbidden for children to wear them going outdoors on Shabbos, except in an enclosed yard. So like there is a shoes that are not the water resistant. Yes, yeah, like if you step on the water. But if your child is going to go all of the puddles, all of the snows, like up to his neck, right? Of course, the snow is going to go in, and the feet are going to go wet, right? So, but if you tie the bags, and that's what we used to do, you like you tie the bags, so you protect your feet. So, but the bags, plastic bags, for sure, those not a garment, so you're not allowed to do it on Shabbos, unless, as he said, if you have enclosed yard, meaning there is air. Continue. Shoe inserts. It is permitted to wear a shoe containing insert, such as insteps, inner soles, or tongue pads. This applies whether the purpose of insert is improve the shoe's fit, or to make more comfortable, or to absorb perspiration. Right. So you have shoe sole, right? That's like it's part of the shoe, but then they sell this different shoe inserts, meaning to hold the arch, right? To like in front, like whatever they call it, tan pads, right? Or on the heel pads, or whatever is this person needed. It's usually for comfort, the way I understand. But he said even for a better fit, maybe if shoes is too big, and so with this thing, it's not going to be too big. Okay. Or even absorb perspiration. Still, it's like for a convenience of the person. So, and the last one, slippers. It is permitted to wear slippers outdoors, even if they have no bags, provided they do not commonly fall off the wear foot while walking. Right. So, meaning if the problem is that if it's going to fall, and some people would continue walking, it would be problem, right? Because like in some sense he moved this slipper from his house into the public domain, and now he like wears again in the public domain, so it picks up in some sense in the public domain. It's continue walking. Of course, like nobody's carrying with his feet. That's right, but still, we're trying to minimize all of these things. So technically, if you need to move something, even some things is the muktzah, right? But you need to move it. You would be allowed. I mean, we're going to learn about it with your feet, because it's not normal way of carrying things. Okay. So let's see. I think we stop here. Right. Stop here. Right, yeah, it's very, very long chapter. Very long chapter, so we'll leave it for the next time. Right, so let's do 5 minutes break, and we continue after break with different topics. And today is story night. We're going to tell story today. Beezrat Hashem. Okay, so today we continue with our book Varevna, where we discuss very interesting Halachic stories, right? And we learn a lot from them. And today we started a new parasha, Behar, and our topic is the GPS included in the sale of the car? Okay, and it's based on a line in Vayikra 25:14. When you sell something to your kinsman or buy something from him, do not cheat each other. Meaning, whenever you buy, wherever we sell, we have to be honest. Okay, so let's see the challenge. Shimon bought Reuven's used car and was annoyed to see that Reuven had removed GPS unit that was there when he first seen the car. So GPS, we're not talking about. We have to understand this book is from a long time ago, and we still have in our car this GPS. I mean that we bought like 20 years ago or so, maybe a little less. That you put on a windshield, right, or on a dashboard, something like, and with a sucking cap, and you use this GPS. So and then in this GPS, the problem with this GPS that you have to like buy maps every time. So and or to buy like one time update, or you buy like lifetime. So lifetime, it was so ridiculous price. Like you can buy basically the almost buy new GPS instead of this. So it's ridiculous. Later on, they had some models that I think that they sell like with live subscription for the maps. So we never bought it. Like. But it's very interesting. So meaning GPS is separate unit. It's not like now, like in the newer cars, they have GPS built in, computer built. It's not like separate. Okay. So again, Shimon bought Reuven's used car, and was annoyed when Reuven had removed the GPS unit that was there when they first seen the car. Right? I thought the GPS was included in the price of the car, he said. I mean, why would he assume so? We don't know. What do you mean, asked Reuven? GPS is not part of the car. As we said, like separate unit. You want to buy, you will buy. Don't. Why should it be included in a sale? Just because you saw the GPS attached to the front window, you had no right to assume that it was included. Right? Again, it's like to the front window, like windshield. Right? Right. For example, on our windshield, we have this thing to pay for the tolls. Right. Of course, if we sell the car, I'm going to remove it. Like, what is the connection? Right. It's not part of the car. Okay. Right. Just 1 second. Okay. Ideally, they should have made the point clear at the time of the sale. Had they done so, they would have avoided the needless annoyance and confusion. I mean, that's understandable now after the fact. It's understandable that it would be proper for them to agree before the sale. But sometimes people don't think this person assumed that, and that person assumed something else, the opposite, right? Now that they failed to do so, who is right? So after the fact. So when this Reuven was looking at the car, right, he was checking out the car, doing test drive, this and that. So I mean, and he saw the GPS. He said, "Oh, that's nice, the car, and I have GPS in there." Okay. Right. Can GPS be assumed to be included in the price of a used car if not, if no mention of that was made in the time of the sale? So, and we have to understand in olden days. So when I think I had two GPSs like over my lifetime, two or three. So they actually were not cheap. So it's before the technology of the cell phones, like now everybody would use their cell phone, but then back then there was no such a thing. So you have a flip phone, right, and then you have GPS, two separate things. You understand? So I think they like 25, 30 years ago, it cost a lot of money, maybe $400 even, maybe more. Right? I mean, if you buy it for $300, it's like very, very cheap back then, right? So that's a lot of money, and we must understand in Israel everything is double. Everything is double. Okay, solution. The Mishnah states that if person sells a boat, he includes oars in the sale. So oars are the thing that that you paddle the boat, right? So I mean that's understandable. Like why would I buy the boat or without the sail? So it's a sailboat, but without the sail, like of course I assume if I buy the sailboat with the sail or this rowboat with the oars. Okay. So it's Baba Basra 73a. Okay. This refers to the case similar to our own, in which the boat was sold with no mention made of the oars at the time of the sale. But but it was obvious to both of them. So in order to navigate the boat, I need these oars. Okay. The seller then claimed that he did not intend to sell the oars, but the buyer claimed that he thought that they were included in a sale. Exactly, but there it's more practical. I mean, you can drive without GPS all your life, right? But without oars, not so simple. The Mishnah rules that in favor of the buyer, since it is fair to assume that the boat comes with the oars, which is, as we said, it's like logical. You need the things for navigation, these oars. Okay, so far so good. Rabbi Moshe Zachuta, in his commentary on the Mishnah, entitled Kol Ramaz, adds that the sectant, a tool used by navigators to chart the course of the ship, is also included in a sail. Perhaps the same may be said about GPS, the modern day equivalent of the sectant. So sectant, I mean, without the sectant, the way I understand it, you cannot go in the olden days left or right. You have no idea, right? You use a sectant to orient on a map or something right. With the stars, I think, right? So it was like critical tool to operate the boat, the ship. It's not the boat; it's the ship. I mean, much larger. Okay. However, Rabbi Zilberstein rejected this comparison, right? And he explained that the ship in the sea is helpless, right, without proper navigation equipment. But you even you got lost, you stop by and you you ask, as people say on a gas station, right? A gas station, ask how can I get to this and this road, and they're going to tell. I just ask some other people, right? So meaning that can you go without GPS? Yeah, many people did not have GPS. Some people had maps. Some people, I know people who naturally know where to go. I have no idea how. I have no idea, not even the slightest idea how they know, but they never get lost, or very rarely get lost, and they know exactly what to do. With me, unless I know 100%, I would not get there. Or I have maps. So even with maps, sometimes even with maps, it's not so clear sometimes. Okay. Right, so Rabbi Zilberstein rejected this comparison, explained that the ship is helpless without proper navigation equipment. The Mishnah elsewhere states, Gittin 3:4, that if ship is lost at sea, there's a fair chance that the passengers are dead. Right, meaning we're talking about sea. We're not talking about river. River is simple, it's simpler at least, right? But in the sea, there is no water, there is no food. I mean, even though they took water, they took food with them, but now they got lost. They did not have so much food, right, or water. So we presume that they're dead, and must apply the relevant halachic stringencies as if they were living. And we must apply the relevant halachic stringencies as if they were living. There is the wives may not remarry, and if they are dead, the childless wives of Kohanim may not eat truma, since we cannot know for certain in either way. So let's try to understand. So here's our situation. So a ship is lost. A ship is lost in a sea, right? So and we can assume that the passengers are dead, crew and passengers are dead, right? So, and in some situation, we will apply the stringencies, and in some situations, we will apply the leniencies. Very interesting. So again, and we apply relevant Halachic stringencies. No, do they have leniencies? No, stringency. Even though we just assume, what do we assume? So even though most likely they're dead, but we assume, but stringency that as if they're living. So what does it mean? So his wife cannot remarry, meaning unless they know that he's dead 100%, so somebody can testify, the wife cannot remarry. So she's a gunaf until, I don't know, right, for forever even. And if they're dead, that's so in some sense we said that they're dead, they're living, and in some sense they're dead. What does it mean? There is a childless wives of a Kohanim may not eat truma. So meaning if this this person on the boat is a Kohen, so while he's married, his wife is allowed to eat truma, right? His wife, his children are allowed to eat truma, right? But if he's dead, they're not allowed to eat truma. She's not allowed to eat truma. Children, I think that they would not be allowed because the mother may get to eat it. I think that's what be the issue. Right. Okay, but childless wives. Okay, so let's not overcomplicate. Childless wives of Kohanim may not eat truma. Why? Because we assume that maybe he's dead, since we cannot know for certain either way. The Rambam explains that the case of the ship lost in the sea means that its equipment was damaged. So right, that's right, damaged. Leaving the ship floated aimlessly over the ocean, unable to direct its course toward the safety. So that's meaning how shows how important this equipment. I mean, we're not in the sea, right? We're living among the people. Okay, about the safety. The oars are included in the sail of the ship, since they are integral part of the ship. So that's very simple. These oars, right? You need to navigate. As Rashbam explains, the same may be said about sectant, meaning this tool to navigate in the sea. Since the ship cannot function without the oars or the sectant, they both assumed to be included in the sail. That's very simple. A car, on the other hand, can function perfectly without GPS. Right, as we said, you have maps, like until GPS, like what people did, right, for so many years. A person who loses his way can stop and ask directions. Very simple, as we said. We cannot say that the car without GPS is as hopeless as a ship without the sectant. Right. Therefore, the comparison is faulty, and GPS is not assumed to be included in the sail of a car. Right. That's the final conclusion. So GPS is not to be assumed to be included in the sail of the car. Okay, so it's something extra. So, or person has some decorations in the car. I mean, it's obvious that he's going to take his decorations with him. Whatever is it? Right. So it's proper, of course, to agree, like to talk all of the details. Don't be shy. Just ask the question. Okay. So let's do our book. So we continue with Hilchas Yichud, and we're in chapter 3. Right, chapter 3, section C, subsection D, and we're doing D4. Okay. And our topic is if wife is asleep or incapacitated. Okay. So, I mean, I'm not sure we're going to finish this section. It's pretty long, so but at least we'll maybe do one point. So, next point. is so topic is if wife is on a sleeping pills or for insomnia, insomnia, meaning most likely she's not going to wake up, right? So meaning this sleeping pills are very strong, the way I understand, the way what I heard from other people. So sometimes people would take with this melatonin. I mean, it helps a lot. It helps a lot, but still, people like it's not as a sleeping pill, right? It's not as strong as sleeping pill. So let's see. It is questionable if the exemption of ishto meshamarto, meaning ishto meshamarto is when the wife is with him, right? Meaning that she's in a different room, but she's under these pills, right? Okay. Applies if the wife retired for the evening with the aid of sedative or sleeping pills, right? And that induce deep slumber, right? So this pills, as we said, it's very strong, deep slumber. Some poskim rule that the husband is in fact not protected in Yichud with another woman. In this case, because she is effectively in a state of unconsciousness due to the influence of medication. So, as we said when we were discussing the case when husband under the alcohol or other substances, right? That like he's there, but he's out. He's not there, basically. So, in some sense, like. That's the situation here with the wife, right? So meaning that husband is not protecting from Yichud because she's not going to wake up so easily. Okay, so continue. Yet it might also be argued that even if deep sleep allows for minimal degree of consciousness, enough for one to sense any occurrence of that which would be extremely disturbing, such as woman's husband consorting with another woman in the close vicinity. Okay, so even if she's in a sleep, but she would be sensitive. Maybe like sometimes when you have a bad dream, and you feel like you sense that you're in a like deep sleep. You can force yourself. Doesn't matter how tired you are. So you can force yourself to wake up, right? If you want to, it's like a bad dream, very bad dream. So you want to get out of that. So right. So meaning that doesn't matter how you're tired, how deep you are. So you can even through the medicine you can wake yourself up if you would want to, right? So that's what he's saying here, right? There is some degrees of consciousness, and right, and if she feels that something very wrong, she would wake up. Thus, the husband would not feel comfortable sense of privacy, to fear that the wife might stir and be awakened from the slumber, from pure slumber. Meaning, most likely not, but still there is possibility that she will wake up. In practice, one must be stringent in case of Yichud midaraisa. So Yichud midaraisa, we said one-on-one. But maybe lenient in case of Yichud midrabanan, meaning 2 women or 2 men. Right. Therefore, in the difficult circumstances, for example, to accommodate relatives or guests who need a place to stay, one may permit Yichud of 2 women with a husband. One may permit Yichud of 2 women with a husband, right? With 2 women with a husband. In a couple's home, while wife is asleep under the influence of the sleeping pills with relatives. You must like in some cultures, so they have to they feel so obligated to host yourself. So they the idea of the hatal would never cross their mind. And I remember the first time when we were planning to go to Israel, and we call people, right, before the time of cell phones, I think. So and then people say, yeah, where are you going to stay? I said, yeah, but we have a good hotel. I mean, somebody told us, of course, you're in this city, you have to stay in this hotel. It's like in the center, like very very convenient to go everywhere. Like and I said, no, you have to stay by us. Maybe we're going to find you like a place to stay, and the hotel was not expensive. Right, it's not very expensive, but people they did not understand like why would somebody rent hotel if you should stay with somebody? Like why should we stay with somebody like in their like a tiny room and they live according to their schedule? We like them very much; they're our relatives, but we like to be independent. Right, but it's very interesting. They took it like almost personally. Like, how come you're not going to stay with us? Or the people start explaining like, no, unfortunately, I would not be able to host you. Like, and we would ask like, who is asking you for hosting anybody? We're saying we're going to be in your city. That's it. We're going to stay. I had my great uncle. We were planning to spend the time with him, like he was in nursing home. But that's it. We're not going to stay with anybody. We're not going to intrude. Of course, we're going to meet a family gathering, but that's it. Right? It's very interesting, right? But some relatives like we want to stay by you. Like stay by me? Why want to stay by me? Stay in hotel. It is certainly more proper, if possible, to leave the door unlocked. Right. If late at night, leave picture windows, as well lit rooms, right? Leave picture windows, lit rooms facing the street unshuttered. I mean, as we said, if you live on the first or the second floor, open all of the curtains so it would be visible from outside. Okay, so continue. If wife is intoxicated, the halacha regarding ishto meshamarto is similar to the baloch beer, right? As we said, meaning if when he was drunk, right? Meaning that he's drunk, it's like he's not there. Yeah, he is on a couch, but he's dead. Note, it is halachically improper for a woman to become inebriated even for a mitzvah. So, I mean, there's no such a mitzvah to drink, right? But like for a woman to be drunk, that's very, very improper. For a man, it's also improper, but for a woman, even less proper. Okay. Continue. Next one. If wife knew about the other woman before she went to sleep, so it's very interesting. All of this, yesterday, all of these cases we said that when it was allowed because a wife is asleep, yes, but she would be very sensitive and she subconsciously she would suspect if something would go wrong, right? So and we said in all these cases, so she would go to sleep before she knew that somebody would come. So that's what's conditioned. But now it's a different scenario. It says if the wife knew about other woman before she went to sleep, so meaning that she would be more vigilant, I guess. If the other woman was already present before the wife went to sleep, or if the wife knew that the other woman should be coming, right? One may be more lenient, especially in cases of Yichud midrabanan, when two women, for example. It can be reasoned that in a case that in her knowledge, meaning wife's knowledge, of the other women's presence, the wife would not allow herself to fall into very deep slumber, right? So meaning, right, that not very deep slumber. Okay. In any case, the husband and the other women in her general presence would feel the lack of privacy out of the concern that her sleep might be disturbed, and she will stir at some point, right? So meaning If she knew that there is other women, maybe even her sister, or maybe his cousin, or other relatives, his aunt or something. Okay, so we can stop here. Let's see if we have any questions. Okay, so the first question is actually from yesterday. And it says, if a therapist is in charge of the medical information protected by HIPAA, okay. For example, if someone has a child with a mental disorder, okay, and they don't want it to known to others, okay. If when the child grows up and they are looking for a shidduch, would it be allowed to share this information with potential partner if they haven't been told that already? So that's not such a simple question. It's a very, very difficult question. So a therapist, again, from the beginning, and we'll try to explain what the problem is. So if therapist is in charge of medical information protected by HIPAA, okay. For example, if someone has a child, mental disorder, and they do not want others to know. So that's their personal preference. So they like it's nobody's business. I mean, if in a school, I think that they have to let them know, or some like in some other government agencies, they should let them know, right? But other people like should be right. It's not their business. When a child grows up and they're looking for shidduch, will it be allowed to share the information? Potential partner, if they have been told that already. If they have been told that already. So meaning, so the question is about this therapist. So they have this in the information, and looks like the way I understand from the question. So the parents are trying to hide this information. So the question is, the halachic question is this therapist is obligated, is obligated to step forward and say that this person might have an issue, right, to their spouse. So you see, the thing is that this therapist can lose their job, right? If somebody would find out that they disclose the information, it's like it's a law. I think if a lawyer tried to disclose, right, of this therapist, that would be a big issue. So I think and the question is he obligated or she's obligated to undermine their livelihood if they're going to lose their license? You understand that everything because they would want to add the other side. So it's not such a simple thing, right? So we cannot obligate that persons to put themselves in that position. So the best solution is to try to pursue this child, right, or the parents, right, to disclose that information themselves. Right. Some people they try to hide this information in the beginning, right, or not even this information. I mean, that's this one is serious, but even something like not so serious, but let's say that he has a diabetes running in his family, right, or he has some, I don't know, the cancer, something, right. So I talked to one of our students, and it's terrible. I mean, like all of the generations, like I'm not sure, he's young, fell on his authorities also, right? But many his relatives died from cancer, unfortunately. So now they, right? Fortunately, I mean it's not the only one case, but yeah. So the question is, I did not ask him, I'm not planning to ask him, but if he would tell his wife, so he's married, right? Right. If he would tell his wife to be that I have this medical history in my family, would she agree to marry him? I don't know. Maybe not. So like if chances are like, I'm not talking about him. I mean in general. I mean we had several people like that. Unfortunately, they're scared and this and that. Okay, so, but if the other side, for example, a girl hears that his mother died, his father, not father, like his mother's mother died, his sister died, and died. I mean, on that side, like all of them die young from cancer. So men from men line, women line, like. So maybe she would not want like to be a widow in age of 27 or something, right? And it is understandable. So do you have to disclose? Yeah, I have to disclose, right? Because otherwise, even though you don't have it, but like with this GPS, but we learned today, like it is obvious that the person would do like would find this information the critical. Some people they're afraid of this family diseases, like they afraid of I don't know what. You understand? So they would be very, very careful. And they asked just recently, they asked me, and I said, please keep me away. So keep me out of it. I don't want to ask this person. So I mean, they want to date. I mean, it's not our students. Like, why should I get involved? All right, and then she wants me to ask him if he has something with his family. I say, you ask him. Like, why should I ask him? Right. Okay, so the bottom line, it would be proper for the therapist try to talk to this family, whoever was the patient, and try to pursue them. Maybe not right away, but on the second date, third day, when they already like established some connection. So basically, the idea is if you put it on the paper, right away. If you mention in first conversation, most likely it's out. Right, the thing is out. You're not going to get in the first date. But if you have a few dates and you see that they like you, so I think it would be proper to mention that's the thing. Okay, so that we have this issue in the family or something. Okay. She asked a question, disappeared. Okay, so next question. Well, general question. I wonder if we should intentionally avoid the brands/businesses that collaborated with Nazi. It seems that the many fashion and the car brand linked to the Nazi regime. Okay, so let's do it again. General question. I wonder if we should intentionally avoid brands and businesses that collaborated with Nazi. I mean, it used to be like so Jews would not buy this Mercedes, Volkswagen, and other things. Whatever the German BMW, I think, also German. But unfortunately, I saw even. I don't know. It was considered not proper. But then you see all of this, even the children of Holocaust survivor. So we have children, they would buy German cars. I don't know. I mean, some of them made in the States. I mean, the company is in like the main company, of course, in Germany. But on the other hand, if you think about it, if you see how much Germany did for the Jews after the war. So they actually accepted all of the Jews like from Russia, from all of this country, Russian country, like Soviet Union. So and they gave the benefit, and it's people who live on the welfare. And not it's I mean on some government programs for many years, just because they're Jews. They give them citizenships and stuff like that. So it like when it started happening, I was like, you know, you're going to go to the Germany. Like go to Israel, say to Israel, you normal. If you want a good life, you go to Germany. Of course, then the Muslims came, as usual. They spoiled everything. But there were many Russian Jews went to Germany, live a very good life. We have some students from there. That's very interesting. There is yeshivas, not even one. I mean, most of them not Orthodox, but there are some Orthodox, yes. So back to the question: should we avoid? I don't think we should avoid. There is like it was right. Okay, so right. I don't think there is obligation to avoid it. I mean, meaning for Volkswagen, maybe like don't buy Volkswagen, but other things, I don't think it's a problem. So even we have some. No, it's not from Germany. I don't know. We buy some food, food like canned fish. Guess what? Made in Germany, right? It's like mechadrin. Okay, no problem. No problem, but it is different, right? It's made by Jews, not Jews. I mean, the Jews don't make this. I mean, that they just like have a kosher stamp. Okay, doesn't matter. So I would say there's cars. Maybe it's too much, right, in everybody's face, but other things should not be an issue. Okay, so next one, a general question. I wonder if it is proper for us to purchase products that look expensive but have no brand name and actually don't cost much, right? If you simply look like probably their look and quality, right? Would be the cost Maris Ayin and being suspected of addiction to materialism? That's a very good question. And there is some like there's a brand name, some brand look, and then everybody like other things like similar, very similar. Of course, the writing says differently, but okay. So I guess it would depend why person is buying these cheaper brands. Because he wants this to look like expensive brands, or because they like the design. I mean, if they like the design and cannot afford like the more expensive one, there is no problem to buy the cheaper one. My design. I mean, I think people understand. So people know like as I would never forget. I was almost speechless. I was speechless for 30 seconds or maybe 45 seconds. So I used to pray in one synagogue far away, but it was very, very interesting, like gathering of guys, younger fellows, right? And it was like, what is it, like maybe half an hour walk, maybe 40 minutes walk, yeah, maybe even 40 minutes walk. And I would get a guest every Friday night. I would bring guests, one or two or more guests, and it was one guest. So he was dressing like a little different from everybody else. Like I see a younger fellow, like some fancy schmancy, right? And then another comes. So we were ready to leave. Me and this guest of mine. And then another guy comes, like I think he comes from Shul. Said, "Oh, like how are you? Oh, that's Armani. That's I don't know." Like he said, like whatever whatever, like line, this and that. Say, yeah, how did you? He said, I saw it in the magazine. The guys, the young guys, they like he recognized the jacket. I look at the jacket, like I was speechless. Like these guys, like girls, right? They discuss the jacket. So I mean, these people, and I look at the jacket. So I remember I look at the jacket. I did not see any brands, but by the look, maybe by material, I don't know. So these people that into the fashion, even guys, unfortunately, they knew exactly what is it. Me, if you ask me, I mean, I would suggest him to buy like a better jacket. But looks like that the jacket cost like maybe my 7 suits or something. Not 7, but maybe 2, right? So these people who know these brands, I don't think you're going to fool, right? So it's not going to be money sign, right? Or like in a city, like in a city where we live, that so they say they sell watches, like all of these people with attaché cases, right? They sell watches on the street. And say what do they sell? This, what is it? Rolex, and then this watch is. I mean, I like. I don't know how the Rolex looks, but for me, it's like a shining with the diamonds, but it costs like fraction of the price. I mean, if I'm not sure, maybe it's a good quality. Maybe it's a good. I'm not sure if, of course, the movement is not a cheap movement, but maybe from outside, maybe it's a good quality. Is a very good knockoff, right? So everybody will think that it is Rolex, unless the person is an expert and he would say it's not Rolex. Okay, so if it's like because the person wants this brand, that's the problem, right? But if not, just like the outlook, no problem. Okay, and as what I'm trying to say, this specialist will know. Okay. Okay, so next question. We have a question about modesty and gava. We started at the gate of gava. It seems that many immodesty, for both men and women, result of gava. We're going to get to it, yes. And they want to show off their physicality to attract attention, yes. If we found this intrinsic gava of modesty distasteful and unclassy, how can we better adjust this mentally in marriage when showing beauty for the holy purpose? How to appreciate the beauty of self and the spouse without gava? It's a very deep question. Okay, so let's do it from the beginning and then see. Question about modesty and gava. Okay. It seems that immodesty, both men and women, result from gava, that they show off their physicality to attract attention. Yes, yeah. So gava is right. So when a person has gava, is it arrogance? So they want to show off whatever they have, right? They want flex their muscle. They want to tell everybody what to do. They want to wear this fancy schmancy clothing, right? Why? It's to show off. And we're going to learn in this gate of gava, like how a person should overcome themselves. And a few examples that the Rabbi is going to give us. One example, not example, advice. Apologize, advice, right? So how to get rid of it is stop wearing this fancy schmancy clothing and wear clothing not modest, not moderate quality, but something would shame the wearer. Right? There is expression shame the wearer. Maybe it's shabby, maybe with the spots like or something like so that he would be embarrassed. So only like this. He can go. He can make he or she can make themselves humble. For women, I think not to do it. I would like some worn up clothing. Okay. So, but now we're talking about physical attention. I mean, basically, like why would we want to attract physical attention people on a street or around us? So otherwise, like opposite, we have to hide it. We have to be invisible. Like you're there, but you're not there. You don't attract any attention, be it men or women. Okay. If we found intrinsic gava of immodesty, right, distasteful and unclassy, right, so then it's proper. If we found, how can we better adjust mentally in marriage? Just mentally in marriage when showing beauty for the holy purpose. How to appreciate the beauty of self and the spouse without gava. So how like gava comes from gava is a pride. So pride is arrogance. Pride it comes from our achievement that as we learned today. So the person will say it's my achievement. But if you understand that everything came from Hashem, so it's all like a free gift, right? Hashem like gave us this physical beauty, right? So what is my what did I invest in? Nothing, right? And like person, no, you don't understand. I would apply this mask and I put this cream and that cream. So if somebody is ugly and you can put the creams like 7 times a day, nothing's going to change them. You understand? So don't say it's because of you. Just say because of Hashem. And for a woman to be beautiful for her husband, so she can do a lot with his beauty to entice him to do the right things, right? So that's absolutely valuable, right? So to entice him to learn more, to have kids, right? Right, and other things, right? So meaning, so how to work on yourself to understand it's all from Hashem. It's only a gift. That there is no merit of ours in that. Gift. So it's first and second. It's most probably it's our test in life, like in Yosef's case, right? In Yosef, when he was Eshet Potiphar, this wife of Potiphar, so it was his test, right? That he had to overcome, and because he overcame that task, he became Yosef. And if he would fail, he would be just Yosef, and because he fell, he became Yosef Hatzadik. That we still learn every day about him. Not every day, but like every year for sure, and many times during the year. You understand? So if a person is physically attractive, right, they must understand their test, and they have to withstand it, right, to create some borders, some fences. Okay, so next question. Another question about soul. I wonder if the soul goes to Shemaim when one is taking a nap or being sedated during the medical procedure. That's a very good question. So during the night, we know for sure that the soul is going to Shemaim, and it's actually reports on what that person was doing during the day, and it was right whatever the person was doing, right? And when the person dies, so he's going to see his own diary written with his own handwriting, and say, so he would not be able to deny anything because what the soul reported on that person. But so now the question is if the same is taking place when somebody is taking a nap or being sedated during the medical procedure. It's a good question. If soul goes to Shemaim every time the person falls asleep, I would say I'm not sure 100%. I'm not sure. So let's leave it at that. So all right. So continue. I have a question about Yichud. Okay. I wonder is exemption ishta meshamarto applies to concubine. Can the existence of the concubine permit Yichud situation? It's a very good question, very unusual question, but let's try to understand the question. So a concubine is a woman in addition to the person's wife. So a person has a wife, right, to whom he gave ksuba, and this concubine is in some sense she's a wife, but without ksuba, meaning that he can tell her go back to your father and mother any day, and he would not be obligated to pay her anything. That's a concubine. So can she get jealous or something? Yes. Will she stop him if he was doing something wrong with somebody who is inappropriate to him? I think that he would be embarrassed. I think so. I think that she should be a good shomer. If something she might tell his wife. Yes, I think yes. That's Yichud would be allowed in front of her. Okay. I mean, if first of all, if she is a second person, only exemption usually applies to concubine. So meaning no. Okay. So if it's not like that. So I now let's look at this situation. It's only only concubine. She's in another room sleeping, and then there's strange woman his cousin in a different room. Right. I think it should apply. I think because this woman would be jealous. And she would tell his wife what's going on. Okay. So next question. Right question about Derech Eretz and middos. Okay. We notice there are large cultural and personal differences among people that some are more accustomed to let the guest live in their home to show affection through the physical contact. If we are not comfortable with this, is this indication of gava? Okay, that's a good question. For what would be the Derech Eretz in this situation? Very good question. Should we let those who tend to do this know that we are not comfortable? Okay, so that's very good question. That's based on what we said today. Okay, so again, question about Derech Eretz and the good middos. So Derech Eretz is a proper way of doing things. Okay, middos is character traits. We notice that the large cultural personal differences among the people, that some are more accustomed to let the guests live in their home and show affection to the physical contact. So some people say, yeah, so that people guests always come and stay and never leave, and they live, and only others are coming, and they're from the same village or the same city, and here they're from a second floor, this is from a fifth floor, or this floor. I mean, and they constantly come. So basically, there is no privacy. So is it good to live like this without privacy? I mean, if the way I understand, if people can afford hotel, let them stay in a hotel. Like, why should they stay the whole month with me, right, and with my family, right? So now, if, for example, if it's a guy, so now I get the whole slow headaches on me. So now my wife always has to go walk in the house with a head covering. You understand? So now she cannot, right? So she always must be dressed up. She wants to go in the bathroom 2 a.m. in the morning. Like, for example, she must be dressed up. So it's a big inconvenience for the whole family. I understand to stay for 1 day, 2 days, there is no problem, but extended period of time. Again, if people just to try to save money, I mean, in the Western countries it's not so common, right? Especially if if you live in a small apartment, like everybody on top of the other. If you have I don't know. For example, next to us there are a few hotels. They're not cheap, but people usually don't come for a month. They come for a few days, so it's better for them like to have privacy. So that's how we get used to have privacy, basically, right? So these relatives, they say, no, you have to stay with us. I stayed like few days. They have their own routine, this and that. They go to sleep this time. I go to sleep another time. Have to talk to my students from here, like my friend. It was too much, right? And plus they stay like somewhere, and I'm dependent. They say, no, you don't need the car. We're going to drive you because of this and that. Because my cousin's husband is flexible and. Okay, he's flexible, but I am very much dependent on him with his flexibility. If I would not listen to them, I would stay separate, like somewhere, like where I wanted, and I would have my own car, would rent my own car, so it would be much easier for me. So I mean, it was only one time we did this mistake. I mean, they insisted so much, like. Right, but right. So the different people. So, but if people cannot afford stay somewhere and they need to go, I don't know, to come for medical procedure. So okay, for medical procedure, they have to stay 1 month. Okay, of course we can accept them. But you remember, you say yes, but you say yes. Don't say yes without consulting your family, right? I think we made the Shalom Bayis #5 clip. I'm not sure if they released it or not, but it was actually about this. Don't make this decision for your wife, right? I'm talking about men. So because for her, now she would have to clean more, she would have to cook more, she would have to do this more and that more. And if there is a man, it would be more like more, what is it? Right, more inconvenient for her. And if it's a woman, if it's a younger, maybe she would flirt with a husband. There is women like that. They like to flirt. They're not too religious. Their style in society. So would agree with the wife. So there are many things that have to go. We need to go into consideration before say yes. Please stay with us. Okay. Okay, so that was physical contact, and physical contact. Some they penguins. They want to hug each other. If we are not comfortable with this, is it indicating Gawa? No, it's not indicating Gawa. I mean, it's better to live separately. But if we need to help somebody, we should. But it should not be too much an expense of the whole family should suffer. So now the wife would need to wash much more dishes, for example, if two people stay or the whole family stay. I mean, we have people in my house. They stay relatives from Israel. They stay for 2 weeks or so. I mean, okay. I mean, it's manageable, but it was a little too much. Okay. These kids, okay. What could be Derech Eretz in this situation? So we have to decide. So even one person said used to learn with us, and he said I want to go to your city. It's not to my city, but to the basin. I said the basin that you refer, it's not in my city. So if you take public transportation, it's like 2.5 hours together. So I said, look, you better find a room or something, to stay next to that Beis Din. And I told him, if you need to, if you don't have enough money, I'm going to add whatever, to co-sponsor you, whatever, for your room. But I mean, because I need to go to work, right? My wife stays home. Like, what should I do? To tell this guy also go somewhere? Okay. Some people don't think before they ask. Okay. So continue. Could I have a general question? Next question. How can we distinguish between proper empathy and brainwashed political correctness? Ooh. When it is bad to show empathy. For example, it is common to hear women tell the other women who are unhealthily overweight that you look beautiful. Don't feel bad about yourself, which may discourage the person to sincerely try to lose their weight and stay unhealthy. Okay, so let's do again. General question. How can distinguish between proper empathy and brainwash political correctness? So this brainwash political correctness, and we have to know that Torah forbids us to be flatterers. So Hashem hates flatterers. So there is separate exceptions in the Talmud that it says you're allowed to flatter some very strong man that when your life literally in danger, right? And they say the story about two rabbis traveling on the road, and then the bandits attacked, and they killed one of them, and the other gave the compliment, right? Instead of yelling, screaming, cursing this bandit, he gave him a compliment, whatever he said. Right, I said it's good that you kill him. He was such a nudnik, such an annoying person. Right, they all giggle, and I said, "Okay, you're good, Rabbi. You're good. Okay, you're one of us. We're not going to kill him." So basically, I would say he was allowed to tell this flattery in order to save his life, and there are a few examples, similar examples. But otherwise, if a person is trying to gain favor or like to be liked, so it's absolutely forbidden. Hashem said this 4 category of people that the Shekhinah is not going to appear, and one of them is the category of flatterers. So again, to save your life, you're allowed, right? But here is a different situation, right? Not to be politically correct. Correctness when show empathy. So, and we must show empathy to everybody, to all normal God-fearing people, right? That's true. So, everybody going through the different tests, the way that thinks I care from people. So, I'm telling you, sometimes I don't tell them. I don't tell them anything. I mean, in this guy, but of course I'm not allowed to tell. But to myself, I think if this happened to me, I would probably break. You understand? So the people go through all of these travels, horrible life stories that I heard in my life. You understand? But or somebody is not on the right way. But again, you see here how much this person suffered in their life. So you have to feel some empathy. Of course, you try to help them and guide them, but right. But you should not attack them right away. So even if you try to rebuke somebody, right, you try to rebuke them in a way indirectly, and in a sense, you're trying to help. It's like a doctor said, you know what? I have a bad news. We have to cut you open. You have to remove this chemotherapy. It's going to hurt. You're going to lose your hair. This and that. So, but when this doctor tells all these terrible things to a person, so that a person would cry, would be upset, but would be very appreciative to a doctor, because the doctor is trying to help to save his or her life. You understand? So if you present this thing that we're trying to help you, so it's actually many times it works. Sometimes it's not, but at least there is a chance. right? So now we're going to example. Example, common to hear women tell the other woman who is unhealthy overweight. So I mean unhealthy overweight. So I mean everybody knows that overweight it means the heart issue, this issue, like a kidney problem, like a back problem, like a feet problem. Right? I don't know, like all the issues from overweight. So I see. I'm not sure women, but I see the guys. Like he's a strong guy, but he cannot carry Torah. So why? But you see the belly is like like beer, like right, huge belly. You understand? So this belly presses on the nerves, on all of this skeleton. Of course, he cannot carry that Sefer Torah. It's too heavy for them. So and it's not healthy. So look Hebrew. So look here, beautiful. No, you're not allowed to say that because it's complete lie, and it's not helping a person. Understand? It's actually it's like these doctors check the blood the blood sugar. It's I don't know what's normal but I would say what's abnormal for sure, like 500 units, like let's say it's very very abnormal, and they say, oh, did you try to this Belgian chocolate? Oh, you did not. Psh, such a delicious thing. So I mean, you're killing the patient, right? So meaning that if the person would give all the false compliments to this overweight girl, so she's going to kill her in some sense, because she would be like satisfied. Oh, people, 3 people told me that I look very good today. Yeah, you look very good, but you know that you cannot bend, you cannot do this and that. So there's a problem. Why would you listen to these people, right? So I would say just keep quiet. Don't say anything. Like talk about something else, not that she looks beautiful or something. Okay. No problem. All right, I think we finished with all of the questions. So let's stop here. So please join us tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to continue with our class, Kosher Kitchen. Thank you and good night. Same time. Good night.